Jalyn. I am the creator of Moonlight Woven, and today we are going to be doing a macrame keychain tutorial. Once we make our keychain, we are going to naturally dye it using marigold flowers. So the supplies that you're going to need for today's project is some cotton cord. You're going to need a metal keyring, and you're going to need some scissors and some tape. You're also going to need your dye matter. We are using marigold flowers. You can find dried florals on Etsy. They're harvested specifically for naturally dyeing. You can also just go outside and forage for your own materials, which is personally my favorite. It's great to be outside, and it's something that we can safely socially distance ourselves doing right now. So I will list all the supplies in the description below, so you can refer back to that, and let's get started. Okay, so now we've gotten our supplies together. I have pre-cut our cords. These are going to be about 36 inches long, and we're going to use 3 of them. So what I do is loop this over to where your ends are going to be even, and that's going to make a little loop at the end. You're going to take your key ring, and we're going to take the loop through the point of our key ring, and it's going to make another little loop here. Get your tails, and you're going to stick them through the front of that loop and then pull. Do that for the next 2. This is called a lark's head knot. We are going to thread it through, make a loop, and pull these through too. This is our foundation knot in macrame. You have to tie everything onto something, right? So this is where we start. Take a loop, take it through, make another loop, and then thread the rest of your cord through there. All right, I use my thumb and just kind of push up on this, make sure that this is nice and tight and there's not a lot of slack in here. Now we need to pin this down to the table so that we have a nice working space. So this is where we will use our tape. We're going to tape the metal ring down, cup around that ring so it holds it in there nice and tight. All right, so we've got 3 cords on here. We're going to separate these 2 out to the side, and we're going to work off these middle 2 right now. You've got a right and you've got a left. We're going to start on this left one, and we're going to use these and wrap around this piece here. So we'll start with this first cord here. It's going to go underneath the cord I was holding, and you're going to throw it over the top. And when we throw it over the top, it makes this loop here. You're going to take this through that loop, and we're going to slide it up. Give a nice little pinch with your thumb up there. We're going to do the same thing with the same cord. So I'm still holding the same cord. The cord that I threw over the top is going to go over the top again and then back through that loop again. Going to get this outer cord. It goes underneath. Then we throw it over the top and pull the entire thing through that loop and then thread it up. I'm going to do that again. Over the top, through this giant loop, and then pull it up to the top. Okay, now we're going to go on to this right side. So I'm holding this right cord. This first piece is going to go underneath. It's going to go over the top and then through this loop. Second time, throw it over the top and through the loop. Outer cord over the top and through the loop. 2 times for each cord. Now you can see that we've got the start of our diamond pattern here. So now we've got 4 cords here. We're going to scoot these guys far out to the side here. Okay, we're going to hold these 2 in the middle, are going to be together. This left cord, we're going to make like a little number 4. Let's move that a little bit. So you've got your 4 here. this cord is going to come over top. So here's our 4. The right cord is going to lay over the top, and then you're going to pick this up, and this cord has to go underneath the 2, and it's going to come up this loop right here. So behind the 2 center and up through that loop. And you're going to pull it up top. This one, we've got to do it on the right side. We're going to make a little, looks like a little 4 sort of. This cord here that we've been working with is going to lay over the top. Then it's going to go underneath these 2 and through this loop. And then we're going to pull it tight, and that makes our little square knot. Okay, so now we've got the start of our diamond, we've got our middle square, we have to close our diamond off. So these are the 2 cords that we started with. We're going to bring this back down, and we're going to angle it on our rope, because as you angle the cord, that's how the macrame pattern is going to flow. So we're underneath here, and now I'm going to throw this cord over the top like I did, and then I'm going to pull it through the loop that it makes. So it's exactly what we did at the top, but now we're going down instead of up. So we're going to go over, through the loop, each cord 2 times. So I've got this last one here. It's going to go over the top, pull it through the loop, over the top, and pull it through the loop. Over the top, pull it through your loop. All right, so now when you get to the end, you're gonna want a nice tight point for your diamond. So we're gonna do that 2 times again. Over the top and through the loop. All right, so we've got a little diamond here now. Now we're gonna start on our second diamond. So we're gonna take these 2 cords, these are the same ones that we've been flipping ropes over. We're going to take this, it's going to go underneath and over the top and through the loop. Got to do it 2 times. Pull this one down, it's going to go back over the top and then through this loop. 2 times. I'm going to do the same thing over here on the right. We're going to grab this first one, pull it down, over the top, through the loop. Over the top, pull it up. Pull this one down, over the top, into the loop. Okay, so now we've got the top part of our second diamond. We're going to pull these out. We've got our same middle 4 pieces right here. We're going to make our number 4. This one's going to lay over the top, and it's got to come behind and through that first loop. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to make the loop on the other side. Always have to repeat the sides if you want it to be the same, especially doing a square knot, or it won't be a full square knot, just be barely covered. So we've got our 4. Make it pointier if you want it to be a 4. Here's your line. Comes over the top, comes through the loop. And there we've got our second square knot. Now we have to close off our second diamond. Same thing, we're going to turn it down, over the top, through the loop. Throw it over the top and through the loop, slide it up. Over the top, through the loop, 2 times. Over the top, through the loop, over the top, through the loop, over the top, through the loop. All right, we are at the end of our diamond here. So we are going to cross over, pull it up tight. Gonna do a second one. And on this very last one, I do it really, 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 really tight to just really make sure that that's not gonna come unraveled or roll on us. Going into your bag and purse every day gets pretty beat up, so you want to make sure that these are nice and tight in there and not gonna unfray on you. So then, that's when the scissors will come into play. You're going to cut to your desired length. I like to cut on a little angle, so it's got a little shaggy fringe. You could cut them longer or shorter, however much fringe you would like to have on there. So with that length that we made, 36 inches for our cords, we're not left with a ton of scraps here. As you can see, not very much scraps at all. These longer pieces I can definitely use to recycle into earrings. So save all of your scraps because you can sometimes do other projects with them as well. Now our keychain is ready to hit the dye bath. All right, so we have created our macrame keychain. Now we are going to dye it with these beautiful marigold flowers. I've had these in my freezer since last year's Dia de los Muertos festival. I collected these from Kspace Contemporary and I've been waiting to use them. They're so beautiful and they'll give you a gorgeous, gorgeous color if you do it right. So you're gonna want a dye pot, or you can use a saucepan if you're dyeing a small amount of matter. I'm probably gonna throw some other things in here, so I'm using my big pot here today to dye a couple of other things as well. The water, you just want to make sure that you're going to have enough water to cover all of your fabric that you put inside your pot. These flowers look so beautiful just floating in your bath. I love the way that looks, but that means you're going to have to strain all of your matter out when you're done, which isn't that big of a deal, but it can sometimes leave marks. Like if I was to be dyeing something else, those petals could leave little marks on the shirt that I'm dyeing or whatever. These mesh bags that you can get at H-E-B for produce are amazing. You can put all of your stuff in here, let it get all of its goodness out, and then when you're done, you can just take this bag out and you're not having to strain everything. So these are optional, you don't have to use them. I love seeing the flowers float around in there, and to each their own, whichever way you would like to do that. So I have my oven on about medium right now. You don't ever want your water to get above 200. When doing botanicals, things can get a little hot, and then you can just burn them, and then you're gonna lose your beautiful colors. So you can get one of these little thermometers. Check that, make sure it stays under 200. So like right now we're like creeping up onto 150. All right, so I think, should we use the bag or should we not use the bag? I say let's not use the bag, just for beauty purposes today. All right, so you feel my water there. When you do have flowers that you've had frozen for a long time, you just want to make sure that there aren't going to be any like dust or dirt on there. If you froze them while they were still pretty, you shouldn't have a problem with them. Sometimes flowers can mold, so you just want to make sure that you don't have any mold in there that's going to put brown chunks into your fabric. So we're going to go ahead and let's dump these beautiful flowers. Oh, they're so pretty. All right, wooden spoon, pretty easy. You're gonna stir this around. These beautiful little pom-poms just floating around in there. So we're gonna let these sit in there for maybe about an hour or two, and then I'll turn my water off and let it just do like a slow extraction. With natural dyeing, it can be multiple day procedure that you're going to go through. So patience is not my strong suit, but with natural dyeing, you must be patient for it to work. So we're going to let all of this just kind of simmer for maybe an hour, and then we'll come back and see what we've got. It's been about 10 minutes. You're gonna wanna come in and just give a little stir every, maybe 10 minutes would be good, just to make sure everything's flowing around. You can already see how we have a little bit of color extraction. So we're just gonna let this sit, like I said, for an hour, but every so, maybe every 10 minutes or so, just come and give it a little stir to make sure that everything is flowing around real good. Let's give it a little stir and check and see what our water's doing. Steam makes it a little tricky to see, but you can see how it's already darkened from the first check. We had a very yellow color, and now we have a almost tea color. So we will be back to see what happens. Just keep them flowing. So it's been about 2 hours that I have let this simmer. We are going to put our keychain in. We are going to let this sit overnight. Doesn't matter about the metal ring, it'll be fine in the bottom in there. Sometimes I'll tie it on to this side with a little string or something, but we're gonna wanna make sure this gets completely saturated. So we're just gonna let it go in. You can see I've got a couple other things. So we will give it a little stir here. Sometimes I strain everything out first and then put my madder in. With this being a little keychain, I'm just gonna let these flowers really extract overnight and get as much color out of them as we can. All right, we will take a peek in the morning and see what we've got. Okay, good morning. It is the next day. We let these soak overnight, our marigold flowers, and our keychain is hiding in the bottom of this pot here. You can see how much darker our water has gotten, kind of muddy, cloudy. You can see how heavy our flowers are. They're not floating anymore. So they've really sucked up that water and are extracting their color. When working with botanicals or any sort of natural materials, dye matter, they tend to want to grow a mold, especially flowers. So what I like to do in the morning is turn the heat on to about a medium heat, let everything reheat just to kind of kill any type of bacteria spores or mold that was going to be trying to grow in there. Do that for about 45 minutes. And then I'll turn the heat off. I'll let everything cool down, and then I'm gonna strain my flowers out. So you can see our flowers at once, they were this beautiful orange color. Now you can see that they are brown, kind of mushy looking. So we will strain those out really good, get all that good stuff out of there. And then nothing goes wasted around here. I can either throw these into my compost. Sometimes I will refreeze them to do some eco printing with. It just depends how mushy and gross your flowers are when you're done. So we're gonna let this cook for about another 45 minutes just to heat up, and then we'll come back and take a peek. See what we got. All right, so I have strained most of our flowers out of here. And really push these flowers and get all of that extra water out of there. Don't want to waste any of our color. There's definitely a texture issue with these flowers, so if you are not into textures, you may want to wear some gloves. The flowers aren't going to hurt your hands if you want to do it bare, which is my favorite. I like feeling them. So I will save these and maybe play around with some eco dyes, eco prints. And you can always throw them in your compost if you're not wanting to experiment anymore. Or if they look pretty gross and they've been on their last run. This one is definitely not going in a keep pile. All right, let's find our keychain. Where are ya? And here we have this gorgeous golden keychain that we extracted from marigold, dried marigold flowers. So beautiful. What I will do is let this sit for maybe like a day before I actually wash it off. The longer you can let your natural dyes sit on your fabric, the longer that color is gonna hold. Natural dyes over time can fade depending on, you know, if you have them in the sun and some different elements. So let it dry overnight, then you can give it a little cold water wash. After you have washed it and you're ready to go, next step, click it on your keys, clip it on your keys. Boom, there you go. Got a fancy new little tassel here. Make your keys pretty. Makes it super easy to find them in your purse. I could not live without mine. I stick my hand in my bag and I instantly find this fringe, and it makes it so easy to find my bag.